everyone, I'm Yue. Today I'm going to talk about the intersection of cultural preservation and VR. So when we talk about cultural heritage and preservation, for minority people, we normally assume that they want to protect and inherit their own culture and traditions, but somehow they weren't able to do so. So they and the culture are waiting to be saved. Especially when it comes to architecture, I also drew the same conclusion when I first began my research in my hometown, Xishuangbanna, which is a small city in the southwestern China with rich ethnic minority cultures. And one of the minority people are called Dai, who live in this kind of traditional dwelling, a built house that uses bamboo or wood from the local area as the main construction materials, which is why it also has a poetic name, bamboo house. It's eco-friendly, it's damp-proof, it's heat-proof. And more, it's not just a simple house made by bamboo. Every part of the house have different meanings. It's also a place that's constructed by daily routines, life experiences, relationships, identity, memory, and emotions. So in short, it's a home. However, this culture, this identity is changing. This is a village in my hometown in 1998, and this is the same village in 2008. You can see this rift. So when I show these two pictures together, you will find something that's not quite right about the assumption I made in the beginning, which is the local people want to preserve their traditions. So if the Thai people want to preserve their buildings, then why do they change it? Well, there are certainly some disadvantage of the bamboo house, but there are bigger issues related, like ethnic being marginalized, pop culture spreading, politics, and the need of modernization. But one simple result come out of all of this is the minority people start to being not confident about their culture. The minority children were taught that their cultural heritage was backward, something to be ashamed of. And there are people who worried about losing the culture, but the majority people, they simply don't have any idea. So in the end, the younger generation knows less and less about their own culture. And also imagine if you live in the concrete house since you were born. How could you possibly imagine what the tradition of Dai would be like living in a bamboo house? So bamboo house, in this sense, is not just it's also a carrier of the culture. It unites people together. People build community around it. Without the culture, you lose the sense of belonging. It's not just a house anymore. In fact, it was never about the house. It's about the people. So to preserve the culture, the key is not actually preserving or representing it, but to draw the attention of the locals, attracting the interest to their own unique culture. So the goal of my project is helping the local people see the beauty of bamboo house, value the traditions, and further preserve the bamboo house as it's an indispensable part of the Dai culture. So I'm trying to leverage the power of virtual reality to document, share, and extend the traditional culture of Dai, to empower them, to help them reshape their ethnicity and strengthen their identity. So Let Me Understand Your Language is my project. It's a virtual reality experience about the bamboo house and the story inside. It creates two spaces, a traditional bamboo house and a modern concrete house, where the audiences will progress through different stories by exploring the space and interacting with different objects. And this is a short video. Mom will cover the smoldering firewood with hot ash before she goes to bed. The next morning, she will light the fireplace to steam sticky rice. The smell of the rice lingering in the house always wakes me up.
Nobody takes the effort to make rice noodles the old-fashioned way. To save time, we just buy the dried ones from the store on the corner of the street. It's still good, but really not the same. Not nearly as smooth and soft as the fresh ones Mom used.
The project I made, it's and also all the stories that you heard, it's true stories I collected from the local people. So it's a capture of the real story, the real living experience. For the project, I interviewed 4 local people aging from 20 to 40 who used to live in the bamboo house but moved to a concrete house. Then I selected them and put them attached to different objects. Although all the stories are all around objects, they are all tied back to the relationship between family members and community. So this is our exit of it. And by taking the stories and weaving them into the daily objects, I'm connecting the intangible lifestyle and customs with the tangible objects and houses. So the house is not just a virtual space now, it's a living space. It's a living place. And it sets you in the environment where on one side is a traditional bamboo house. However, when you turn around, on the opposite side is a modern concrete house. There is this abrupt switch. It's representing the switch of their identities. So preserving the architecture or not from this one or this one, and or they can be preserved in other ways. They can be preserved just the structure, or use back to the bamboo material and further develop it. In the end, the bamboo house might be gone forever, and my piece could be a documentation or a way to preserve the intangible with the tangible. It can be like any other. It's not just a single case. The bamboo house is just an example, like many other vernacular buildings, traditional culture in the world that's vanished. But I hope that my project could be a possible solution to empower people learn about their traditions. I think there is a real beauty to be found in tradition, a beauty that may not prepare us forward in the sense of quantifiable progress or change, but that does prepare us forward as human beings in life wisdom, understanding, and even emotional intellectual. So that's it. Thank you.
So now I'm going to welcome our guest respondent,